So hey guys, welcome back to the channel Study Time, and now we are going to start with economics chapter number 2, that is utility. Okay, now the basic concept of utility is something that satisfied your need at a particular period of time or at a particular you can say a period of time. Okay, so that is, it can be a product, it can be a commodity that is satisfying your need, your want at that particular period of time. Okay, so that is what called as utility. Okay, so let's begin. Introduction. You have been already introduced to the concept of utility in standard 9th. Okay, so we have already learned what is utility in standard 9th. Okay, utility is a want satisfying capacity. Okay, it gives you satisfaction, that is your utility, and you need something, you want something, that is utility. This unit gives a detailed explanation of consumers behavior. Okay, so utility gives you a detailed explanation about a consumer's behavior. What does a consumer thinks, or what does he wants? In practice, every individual tries to satisfy his wants with available resources. Okay, every day, every person, every individual tries to satisfy his wants. Okay, whatever he wants, whatever he needs, he tries to satisfy that with available resources. Whatever resources are available around him, he will try to satisfy his needs and wants on them. It is true that all human wants cannot be satisfied fully at a specific time. Okay, so whatever human wants are there, all the wants that a human has cannot be satisfied at the same time. If you think you want all the things together, it's not possible to get everything at the same time. In the same way, all the wants of humans cannot be satisfied at the same time. Okay. Utility analysis explains a consumer behavior in relation to maximization of satisfaction. Okay, so utility analysis, when you analyze the utilities of a consumer, then you understand that the consumer behavior is in relation with the maximum satisfaction, the maximum level of satisfaction that a consumer gains. Okay. Next is features of utility. Okay, now there are following features of the utility. Following are the features of utility. There are 10 features of utility. Okay, so overall 10 features of utility are there, and one by one we'll study them. Relative concept. So the first feature of utility is relative concept. Utility is related to time and place. Okay, utility is a relative concept. Relative means related. So utility is related to time and place. Okay, it is related to time as well as with place. It varies from time to time and place to place. Okay, so utility of a person varies from time to time and place to place. Okay, it varies from time to time and place to place means every time to time. Okay, that is today, tomorrow, or month after, year after, your utility is going to be changed. Okay, even place to place means your utility can vary from place to place. Suppose now you are in Mumbai, so here the climate is, you can say it's okay, it's not too hot. Okay, but if you go to Rajasthan, there you will see the climate is so hot. Okay, so there you will prefer to have cold drinks, water. Okay, mostly that you need in summer. But if you come to Mumbai, you will see that you are not that much wanted with those things, because here the climate is not too hot to get cold drinks and all. So your utility changes from place to place as well as time to time. That is, time to time is in case of seasons. Okay, in seasons, in winter season you prefer woolen clothes. Okay, as well as in summer you prefer cotton clothes. Okay, so that is a relative concept. Now example, woolen clothes have a greater utility in winter. Okay, so in winter you probably have utility for woolen clothes, whereas in summer you go for cotton clothes. Okay, sand has greater utility at construction site than at the seaside. Okay, if you see sand, now sand you usually get at the seashore. Okay, but there the need of sand is not that much. Okay, seashore does not need that much sand over there. Okay, but if that sand is at a construction site, or it is brought to a construction site, you will see it has a great utility, okay, because there it is in need. On construction site it is needed to build the basement or for the construction work, so it is needed. So there the utility of the sand is more than at the seashore, okay. So then the next utility is subjective concept. It is a psychological concept. Now utility is a psychological concept, like what a person thinks, accordingly to that it is. Utility differs from person to person. All persons have different stage of utility. This is due to difference in taste, preference, likes, dislike, nature, habits, professions. Okay, so your utility differs. Okay, from person to person it is different. Why? Because taste, everyone taste is not same. Preference, everyone doesn't prefer what you prefer to. Okay, likes, sometimes you like something your siblings does not like, your parents might not like. Okay, dislikes, something you don't like the bitter ground vegetable, you can say you don't like to eat it, okay, but sometimes some people like to have that. Nature, everyone has a different kind of nature. Habits, you have good habits, bad habits, some may like that, some may do not. Profession, now there are different kind of professions we have, accordingly to that it changes, our utility gets changed. Now example, stethoscope has utility to a doctor but not a layman, okay. So stethoscope is mostly used by doctor, it come into use of a doctor only. Even if you buy yourself, it's not going to be that much useful how it has been useful by a doctor, okay. Third is ethically neutral concept. The concept of utility is no ethical consideration, okay. So your ethical consideration is not done, it is a moral colorless concept. So utility is a colorless concept. The commodity should satisfy any want of a person without considering of what is good or bad, desirable or undesirable. So the commodity that is going to be satisfying your want, okay, of a person or an individual, it should be considered how it is. It can be bad, it can be good, it is something which will give you desire, it may not give you desire. So it is ethically neutral, it has both the things, good and bad, desirable, undesirable, okay. It can give you pleasure, it cannot give you pleasure, okay. So both the effects are there, it is neutral, it has good also effect and bad also, okay. Now example, a knife has a utility to cut fruit and vegetable as well as it is used to harm someone, okay. Now a knife, if you take, you mostly use it in your household work for cutting fruits and vegetables, okay, but that is not only the use of a knife, okay, it can be also used to harm someone, to kill someone, okay. So there are both the uses of that, one is good, one is bad. Both wants are different nature but are satisfying the same commodity. Both wants are different, okay. One, when you are harming a person, you are killing a person, and one is you are cutting fruits and vegetables, that means you are doing something which is you need, like for cooking or for satisfying your hunger needs, you are cutting fruits and vegetables. So one is good, one is bad, that is one is positive, one is negative, but both the commodities are fulfilled, both the wants are fulfilled by the same commodity, okay, that is a knife. So this is a ethical neutral. So this utility is ethical neutral. The meaning of ethical neutral means it has both the effects, positive and negative, okay. I told it that is good and bad, so good can be positive and bad can be negative, okay, like that you can consider that. Next is utility differs from usefulness, okay. Utility is the capacity of a commodity to satisfy human wants, okay. What does utility do? Utility satisfy human wants, okay, whereas usefulness indicate the value in use of the commodity, okay. So a commodity just satisfy your wants, okay, but whether it is going to be useful for everyone or not, it depends upon the commodity itself. Means a commodity will satisfy your need, okay, that is going to be done, but whether it is going to be useful or not, it depends. Now example, milk has both utility as well as usefulness to a consumer. So milk, If you see milk, it is useful, okay, and it has utility. Now for your from your morning tea, okay, or sometimes night also, you take a glass of milk, okay, or making any products and all, you use milk for making paneer, butter, curd, okay. So it has utility, people want that, and it is also useful, okay. While liquor has utility only to the addict but has no usefulness. As well as if you see the liquor, okay, the liquor also has utility, people want that, okay, who are addicted to them, who are habitual to them, they want the liquor, okay, but it is not useful, it is not giving you any benefit. Like milk gives you some or the other benefits like proteins and all, but alcohol does not give you anything. Alcohol, liquor, okay, it is not going to give you anything, it's not going to be useful for you at all. Even then it has utility. So utility is not always a usefulness, okay. Next, utility differs from pleasure, okay. Every utility does not gives you pleasure. Pleasure is different, utility is different. A commodity may possess utility, but it may not give you any pleasure to the consumer. A commodity may give you utility, it will satisfy your want, but it will not give you pleasure. You will not feel happy by that. Okay, the best example is injection. Once you take it, it is like you have to take if you are ill. But do you feel happy about when you take it? No. Okay, that's what given over here. For example, injection for a patient has utility because it cures the ailment, but it is hardly gives you enjoyment or pleasure to him. Okay, a patient takes the injection to cure the illness or the disease, but it is not giving you any enjoyment or pleasure. Okay, next is utility differs from satisfaction. So utility is different, satisfaction is different. Utility is a case of consumption. Satisfaction is the end result of the consumption. Utility is your starting case. Okay, when you consume a particular commodity, when you take the particular commodity, it is utility. But when you get the end result, when you eat it, okay, when you are actually done with the consumption process, then you will get the result that is called as satisfaction. There are interrelated but still different concepts. Okay, they are interrelated, they are related to each other, but they are different concepts. Utility is different and satisfaction is different. Okay, example, a thirsty person drinks a glass of water since water has capacity to satisfy his thirst. Okay, a thirsty person, a person who is very much thirsty, he will drink the water immediately because it has the capacity, the water has the capacity to satisfy his thirst. Okay, that is his utility. Now utility of a water is cost of consumption and the satisfaction derived by the end result of the consumption. So the utility of water, okay, that we get after consumption, that is satisfaction. The end result after consumption, what we get, that is our satisfaction. Okay, so there are two things, that is your utility and satisfaction. Utility you get at the starting point when you need it, okay, you want it, that is your utility. But when you consume that, when you get that, that is your satisfaction. Okay, now measurement of utility is hypothetical. Okay, hypothetical, that is you cannot exactly measure your utility, okay, in numbers, or you cannot perfectly guess how much utility you have got. Okay, utility is an abstract concept. Utility is an abstract concept, means mindful concept. Cardinal or numerical measurement is of utility is not possible. Okay, cardinal, okay, or numerical, number wise or orally, you cannot measure your utility, that's not possible. Okay, for example, a thirsty person after drinking water may derive higher or lower level of utility. When a person is thirsty and he drinks water, he might get higher amount of utility, okay, or lower amount of utility, that is low level or high level, but we cannot exactly know about that. Okay, ki how much, higher means how much, lower means how much, you can just say it. Thus utility only be experienced and found either positive, negative or zero. Means you cannot exactly tell the amount of utility you have received. You can just express that into particular terms, that is more, less, higher, lower. Okay, and mostly utility is found either positive, negative or zero. Negative utility is called disutility. Okay, the utility which is negative utility, it is called as disutility. Next is utility is multi-purpose. A commodity can satisfy the want of more than one person. It can also put to several uses. Okay, utility is multi-purpose. Means a commodity cannot only fulfill your one want, but at the same time it can fulfill more wants at the same time. Okay, you can use it for several other purpose also. Okay, next is, for example, electricity can be used to serve many purpose and for many people at the same point of time. Now best example is electricity. Electricity can be used for many purpose. Okay, for you can say fan, light, electric appliances, whatever you use in your house, you use the same electricity, and at the same way it is being transferred to all over your area. Okay, to many people, to many your nearby societies also. So that electricity is used in many devices by many people at the same time. Okay, next is utility depends on the intensity of want, how much you need that particular thing. Utility depends on the intensity of want, that is how much you want that particular thing. Utility depends on that. More intense the want, greater will be the utility. More intense means you want that particular thing, the commodity, it means you have more utility. As and when the urgency of want declines, utility diminishes. So when your urgency of want declines, means it's something that you don't need in urgent, you can take after some time, so there your utility goes down. Okay, in easy way, when you want the particular thing urgently, it means your utility goes high. Okay, your utility level is more. But when something is not urgent, you can postpone that. At that time your utility is very low. Okay, for example, a hungry person finds more utility in food than a person who is not hungry. Okay, a person who is very much hungry, he wants food to eat, he will find more utility, it will be urgently for him to get the food. But whereas a person who is not hungry, he will say, okay, it's fine, we'll take it later or after some time. Okay, we'll have food, we'll have lunch, like that. So your urgency also depends. Next is utility is the basis of demand. Okay, utility is the basis of demand. Demand basis on utility. A person will demand a commodity only if he gives utility to him. Okay, whatever thing you demand. Okay, demand is what something that you need. So what for any commodity, okay, that you want. Okay, that is you will be demanding for that commodity. Why you will be demanding for the commodity? Because the commodity is going to be useful for some or the other thing, or it is going to have utility for you, otherwise it may give you some satisfaction, that's why you are demanding the commodity. Okay, so utility is basis of demand. Next is, for example, a sick person has utility in medicines, hence he demands medicine. Okay, a sick person has utility in medicines. Why he has utility in medicines? Because he wants to get cure, he want to cure the disease, so he wants medicines, and that's why he will demand for that. Okay, so this was the 10 features of utility. Okay, so for today, now let's meet in the next video. Till that, stay tuned. Have a good day. Bye.